What's up, Liberators? I have a little how-to here on how to put a Japanese domestic market trunk or rear end on a 2006 to 2011 Civic sedan. It doesn't have to be a specific model as long as it's a 4-door or as long as it's the 4-door or the sedan model from 2006 to 2011, it'll work. This is actually done already. I'm putting this part of the video first because I do want to talk about a few things before I show you guys what I did to actually install this. In order to have a full, in my opinion anyway, a full working rear end, you're gonna need these things. Obviously, you're gonna need the lights. So there are two versions. There's the circle lights and then there's the octagon lights. I personally wanted the octagon lights from the start, but I got a good deal on these circle ones and actually they're kind of growing on me. The next thing you're gonna need is the trunk itself. That's probably the biggest bulk of this whole conversion. Some things that you may or may not need depending on what you get for the conversion. Here is the trunk garnish. This came with the trunk that I got. Over here there's a little area for a backup camera. I don't have that, but that's what the garnish was made for. And you may also need license plate lights. The US trunk license plate lights do not fit the Japan ones. Luckily for me, these came with the trunk. There are these, I can't see it, the license plate converter you can bolt straight in without having to drill anything. Another thing you're gonna need are these. So on the US market, the reverse lights are actually on the outer light. On the Japanese one, it's on the inner light. The socket itself doesn't fit. Well, the US socket doesn't fit the Japanese socket. So that's why that's there. I got these off of eBay and it came with this pigtail here too. You're gonna have to extend the wires to get up to the reverse part over here. And everything else you're gonna use off of your original trunk. This wire harness right here comes from the original trunk, and you just take that out and you'll be able to plug these directly into the license plate lights. I do want to show you guys one more thing though. You know how I said that you need to extend the reverse lights to get over here because the reverse lights again are on the inside lights for the Japanese trunk, but for the American trunks it's on the outside light. This right here is the socket for the original reverse light. As you can see, this compared to the other one, they're very different bulb holders. I ended up putting two wires here. I just kind of put them in to just make contact with the inside part of this bulb that's being held. This was plugged into my original reverse light, so I just took these wires and I extended them all the way up here so that this turns on. So when I reverse, this actually turns on and this at the same time. Now I did that because I didn't want to cut into the original harness, so I just kind of put this in parallel so that it ended up working that way. And it works. It ended up working for me. You guys can see the rest of the videos, see what I ended up doing. I will say it's not a full in-depth how-to. I just kind of show you what I ended up doing, and I think for the most part, anybody who's going to attempt to do this conversion will go to the same thing too. So the video will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, Liberators? Currently about 4:45. Sun is just beginning to go down. I'm gonna attempt to do a little project. I'm going to try to do a rear end Japanese conversion on this car. A couple major things though that kind of scare me. I have to extend wires and I do need to cut into the frame. So I'm a little anxious about that, but hopefully I can do this before the sun goes down. Let's get all the parts. Wow. Just gotta take off my trunk, put this trunk on. Looks like it comes with like lights too. Okay, let's try and do this. So it looks to me, I'll take all the sockets out, but I think this light is bolted down here somewhere. So it looks like I have to take off the bumper. Okay, so I pulled off the bumper. Oh, it's pretty easy. But I've got to take out the tail lights, and I think there's a bracket that holds this tail light on. Not sure, but you know, I won't know until I try. Okay, so I'm gonna take that off now. So I took out one tail light. Supposedly you're supposed to grind away some of the frame on that. I'm gonna Dremel that out, but I don't know how much of that to drill out. So I'm gonna match it up with the Japanese one and see where I need to cut, I guess. I'm kind of scared, but there's no turning back. Alright, that took a lot longer than I expected. I actually had to trim a couple of areas. I had to drill a hole here and make that bigger. I had to trim this out. And I had to trim like this little lip over here, over there, and down there. That took a couple of guesses to do. So that took a long time. I'm gonna have to do the other side now. I don't know if I'm doing it right because it doesn't fit perfectly or exactly, but it fits. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try the other side now. I'm gonna do the other side and I have to take off the trunk. Okay, so I finished. I didn't really document anything because after that it's pretty straightforward, but